lose weight without tracking your macros? This is the age-old question that a lot of fitness and nutrition content creators on here will lie to you about because something worked for them that might not work for you. So let's get into it, shall we? Tracking versus intuitive eating. Now, tracking your macros, this basically means like tracking your calories, protein, carbs, and fat, with calories and protein being the most important, typically using an app like MyFitnessPal. Whereas intuitive eating is basically just eating. Well, it means eating without tracking, basically just listening to your body, your hunger cues, etc. The main issue with jumping right into intuitive eating when deciding you want to lose weight is that there's a reason, obviously, you've decided that you want to lose weight. Therefore, trusting your body and its hunger cues likely hasn't worked thus far. And things likely won't start to change just because you've decided you want to lose weight. So I've tried both of these methods, intuitive eating and tracking, at different stages of my life when trying to lose weight. So I want to go over 3 types of people that can typically lose weight while eating intuitively versus 3 types of people that should definitely be tracking in order to see results. You can decide which bucket you fit into and act accordingly. Before we get into that though, I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, ISSA. If you're watching this video, then clearly you're already interested in learning about nutrition in order to make a positive impact on your life. If you're like me though, and you've become so obsessed with it and so passionate about it, and you want to help the lives of others and even make it your job and earn money from it, just know that this is very possible with today's sponsor, ISSA. So if you watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that I had plenty of struggles with nutrition in my teens and my early 20s, which led me to start posting recipe videos online during COVID. I also decided to get my fitness and nutrition coaching certifications online so I could coach people one-on-one. What I absolutely love about coaching is helping other people reach their fitness goals without having to sacrifice their favorite foods and not seeing them go through the same mistakes that I did. And I also love that you can coach people all over the world from the comfort of your own home. Like, how great is that? So if this sounds enticing to you, ISSA certifications are 100% online, self-study, self-paced. I know this might sound intimidating if you didn't take sciences in university or if you've been out of school for a while, especially like I was, but the exams are open book, open note, and you could take them from anywhere, so it makes it pretty simple. If you're looking to transition careers or even start a side hustle, becoming a nutrition coach through ISSA could be a great fit for you. So you can go to joinissa.com/fitfoodae. It's also going to be linked in the description, and you can use code FITFOODAE to get $100 off your nutritionist certification. Being able to learn all about nutrition and getting paid to help people reach their goals is the best thing ever, and now you can do it too. Okay, so the first type of person that can typically lose weight while eating intuitively is someone who has prominent, noticeable bad habits. The more bad habits, the easier it is. Like, let's say you're a big drinker and you have half a bottle of wine every night with dinner. Or you're a big sweet treat person and you have an entire pint of Ben & Jerry's for dessert after dinner, or a crumble cookie. If you cut out even one of these bad habits, it's gonna be so easy for you to lose weight. Or even if you just use ritual-based substitution to swap something out for it. For example, let's say you eat a crumble cookie after dinner every single night, that's like 800 calories. If you just swap this for one of my 100-calorie chocolate chip cookies, you'll save 700 calories per night, which is 3,200 calories gone for the whole week. And to put it into perspective, 3,500 calories is a pound of fat. So you'll literally lose almost a pound of fat per week just by making this swap. Or another example, if you usually split half a bottle of wine with dinner with your partner every night, so that's like 300 calories a night, and you decide to use ritual-based substitution, which I talked about in my last video, I'll link that here, and you swap out that glass of wine with some Coke Zero poured into a wine glass, that's 2,100 calories in a week saved. So that's like over half a pound of fat. If this sounds like you and you're able to really use ritual-based substitution and substitute your bad habit with something that's healthier, lower calorie, or even just eliminate it altogether, you can easily lose weight without having to track your calories on MyFitnessPal. Okay, the second type of person that can typically lose weight without having to track is if you don't currently exercise and you're willing to implement exercise. Okay, this sounds pretty obvious, but hear me out. A lot of clients will come to me And at first, they're just willing to change their nutritional habits and not yet incorporate exercise for a variety of different reasons, which is totally fine. I mean, diet makes up 80% of weight loss. I think a lot of us know that you can't out-train a bad diet. However, your maintenance calories are gonna be higher if you get movement in. For example, a woman of my height, age, and weight that doesn't exercise at all, that's completely sedentary, has a desk job, versus someone like me who goes to gym 4 times a week, does run club twice a week, boxing twice a week, and gets 12 to 15K steps plus per day. I swear I have a life outside of this. If that person who doesn't exercise at all eats the same amount of calories as I do, she will definitely gain weight because her maintenance calories are lower than mine. And she's burning significantly less calories than I am. Let's say you have pretty good nutritional habits, but you don't exercise at all currently. If you throw in a 4-day-a-week weight training program, 10K steps a day, maybe add like a sport or workout class in there, you'll easily lose weight without having to track your calories or change anything nutrition related. But obviously the caveat to this is not drastically increasing your calories when adding the workouts in and keeping everything the same. But otherwise, you'll be not only burning more calories, but you'll also be improving your overall health. And scenario number 3 is that you noticeably struggle with portion control, but you're willing to change it. Let's say you're already the kind of person that eats balanced home-cooked meals, but it's just the sheer volume of food that's making you gain weight. Let's say you move in with your partner and you're making dinner for you and your partner every night, and you're making recipes that serve 6 people, but instead you're splitting the servings, so you're eating like 3 servings to yourself for dinner. I'm speaking from experience, by the way. If you instead portion out the servings properly and you have the 1 serving and then you put the other servings in Tupperware and you save it for lunch the next day or dinner the next day, you will easily lose weight without having to track. You'll probably save money too, because then you don't have to spend as much money on groceries. And if you get rid of the partner, you can save even more money. And if you typically go for seconds, even though you're not hungry, you're just bored, just occupy your time with something else. I talk about this in one of my previous videos, which I'll link, just like how staying busy really helps with preventing overeating. Another thing I'll mention as well, for all 3 of these scenarios, if you're very overweight or obese, it's gonna be way easier for you to lose weight without tracking, like regardless of the situation. Okay, sorry, it was so sunny while I was filming the last part of that video, so I just closed the blinds. I think this lighting looks a bit better. Now on the flip side, here are 3 scenarios or 3 types of people where I personally think it makes more sense to track macros versus eating intuitively. So keep in mind that all 3 of these scenarios kind of play into each other and more than one of them might apply to you. So number 1, I sort of just mentioned this, but if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, like if you're just dropping 10 pounds preparing for summer, like Drake says, versus you're obese and you have 100 pounds to lose, that's what I mean. If you have a very small amount of weight to lose, it's gonna be way more efficient and effective for you to track and get it done quickly. And by quickly, I don't mean crash diets, I just mean like more efficiently. If you have a lot of weight to lose, generally changing small habits can move the needle. But if you're already pretty close to your goal, you need precision, not guesses. Mistakes with intuitive eating in this case can set you back like 200 calories and then put you in a maintenance rather than a deficit. For example, let's say your maintenance calories are 2,400, so you're eating 1,900 to be in a 500 calorie per day deficit. If you're tracking, weighing out your food, and actually sticking to this deficit with precision, it'll take you 10 weeks to lose 10 pounds. That's 2.5 months. But if you're just eyeballing certain portion sizes and like listening to your body, then those 10 weeks can easily stretch out to 20 weeks if you're unknowingly eating an extra like 200 to 300 calories per day. Okay, scenario 2, if you're one of those people that's tried everything to lose weight and still haven't been successful, you wouldn't tell someone with a spending problem to just spend less money. You would tell them to get a budget tracker or a budgeting app and like actually track their spending and see where they're going wrong. Maybe even getting a financial advisor, just doing things in order to see tangible results. If you're one of those people that's tried every diet under the sun, like Weight Watchers, keto, intermittent fasting, Whole30, you've tried everything except tracking macros, then guess what you should start doing? This is actually a pretty common thing that I see with my clients because we're often told that tracking calories is like disordered, which isn't always true. Restricting by eating way too few calories for your height, weight, age, activity level, or really over exercising, or being in a calorie deficit for way too long, those are things that are disordered. But using actual math and science in order to lose weight, that's not disordered. And number 3, again, this kind of plays into the first two, but if you're the kind of person that likes structure and data, if you just want to lose the weight and get this done as efficiently and effectively as possible, then tracking macros is your best bet. Especially if you're like me and you prefer structure and you're the type of person that can do something if you're just given numbers or like instructions to follow. Tracking macros using MyFitnessPal, it's kind of like a game, except not a very fun game or a game that you want to play for very long. Rather than guessing if something is healthy or labeling foods as good or bad, if it fits into your macros, then you can eat it. For a lot of people, the sense of structure actually reduces stress around food and losing weight, because if you hit your calories for that day, you already know that you're on track to losing that weight and hitting your goals, versus trusting that your body's stuck with its hunger cues that day. I'll link a calculator in the description, but all you really have to do is calculate your maintenance calories, subtract like 300 to 500 from that to eat per day, whatever you're most comfortable with or you think that you could stick to, and then stick to that number until you lose the amount of weight that you want to lose. It's easier said than done, but at its core, weight loss is simple. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you'll enjoy my video where I talk about how I overcame binge eating, so I'll link that so you can watch that next. And please be sure to give this a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel, and I post new videos every week. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.